What's up guys, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Everton 0, Roma 1. Our English tour ends with a win in the brand new Goodison Park. And I'm going to take 2 seconds to say what a great stadium they built. I cannot wait until we get our own stadium. I really can't. It's one of those projects which I'm really looking forward to. I know that it's going to take so much time. But just seeing the images of a brand new stadium like that one gives me goosebumps to ever imagine what our stadium, our own personal stadium would look like. But how's everybody doing? It's been a while. I was in France for the past 2 weeks studying French in Nice. I had a blast. I'm back in Rome. So we're back live. I followed the game. I missed the first 20 minutes of the game because I was on the plane. But yeah, I watched the game. And I think it was a good test. I think we definitely played better than the last one, where we got absolutely demolished by Aston Villa. And I know I did film a quick video, a quick match reaction about that game. I didn't go too deep about it because you know what I think about friendly games. And you know what I think about Gasperini's project. You have to be patient. I already saw, and I'm not exaggerating, I already saw people after a friendly game against a team which is more prepared than you and has started this journey like 3 years in advance compared to you. I already saw people after that game go, this project won't work, this manager won't work. And it's my fear. The truth is that is exactly what I fear about this project. The lack of patience. And now we got back winning and everyone's back over in the moon again. Friendly games don't work like this. Friendly games can't work like this. And friendly games are important to test what you learn on the in training sessions. Who cares about the results? Of course, I'd rather win. I'm the first one to accept this. But you cannot go deep. And you can't be mad or you can't be pissed at the team if they don't win a friendly game. Friendly games are not about results. They're about exploiting the concepts that you learn in training sessions, especially this project and especially this season, which is the start of a brand new season, completely different pre-season schedule than what the players have had before. So, you know, you can't judge the team after friendly games. You can build analysis like we're going to do today, but you can't build final judgments at all on players, on tactics, on the manager, on anything. Yeah, right. Today, we played a good game. I think Everton were nothing special. Everton were okay at the start. And then in the second half, I think we were way better than them. I think we controlled the game in the second half. I'd actually go as far to say that we could have won this game. In fact, definitely, we could have won this game with more than one goal. Pizzilli's last-minute shot had to be a goal. He had to pass it to Ferguson, and that would have been 2-0. And then Elanawi had a great shot, a great chance, with Pickford saving it. So, yeah, I think we were better than them. I think, again, we're seeing this process of identity. And the word to use during the preseason is identity. I'm seeing, whether we lose, whether we lost 4-0 against Villa, whether we won today against Everton, whether we won in France against Lens, in Germany against Kaiserslautern, or those minor friendly games that we couldn't even see on television, I'm seeing an identity switch. And that's the most important thing. And that's, I think, if you ask the manager what he wants to see the most. There are concepts that he wants the players to do at all costs. These concepts are through balls, long balls, vertical balls, pressing as a group, pressing all together, and high defense line and everything regarding the intensity, fast transition, as you said before, and starting from the back, playing at the back, starting your actions at the back and setting the play back from the defense. That can have positive and negatives. You know what I think about playing from the back. I don't always think it's the it's the solution, because if you've got teams that press you, then if you lose balls, you lose football games. So I'm not necessarily a fan of playing from the back, but I'm definitely a fan of pressing through balls, vertical balls. How many times in previous seasons did we see constant horizontal switches from one defender to the other? You know, it's this idea of moving the ball in spaces and areas of the terrain of the pitch that can lead you to scoring more goals. And this is also strictly connected to attackers. Gasperini got interviewed post-match today, and he confirmed that he asked the ownership and the board another striker. He didn't say, I don't like Dovbyk, I need another striker. He said, I like Dovbyk, but I've also asked for another striker. I still think, and I still stick with what I think from my preseason thoughts about Dovbyk. I still think that he's not the striker that suits the way Gasperini wants to play. That's something that I believe. I don't think the manager will make it clear, of course, especially a new manager won't come in after a friendly game and go, I don't like Dovbyk, sell him, I need another striker. He won't do that. But personally, I think he's made it clear that Dovbyk is not... Maybe the correct phrase here is not that he doesn't suit his play. Well, I think that's correct to say. But maybe he's not his first pick. I think Ferguson starts over Dovbyk. I've said this many times. However, Dovbyk played 80 minutes today. Also because Ferguson had a little injury. So, I don't know. I think what we know is that these next 3 weeks of transfer session will be devoted to attackers rather than defenders. That's confirmed. We know this. Gasperini wants goals. Gasperini wants, in my opinion, a striker and a left winger. 3 weeks ago in the transfer session, I still think we're a bit delayed. We have to hurry up because he needs these players fast. Ibrahim Wali, thank you very, very much for the $20. You're a legend. For the super sticker. Thank you so much. As always, the GOAT. I'm going to read the other comments in a second. I haven't forgotten. But thank you so much, Ibrahim. Really from the bottom of my heart. Speaking about the game, right. I think we have to start off with Soule. I'm not scared to say that I think Soule this season will be our most important player. I think Soule is what started Soule's paradisiac form, I would say, because he's been playing great football since, I would say, March. It's from end of March, start of April, that ever since he scored that free kick against Parma, that insane free kick against Parma, Soule never played a bad game. Soule changed. Soule transformed. I don't know what it is. He's definitely more sure about himself, about his own tools. He definitely has more confidence in his teammates, in the fans, in the atmosphere, in the manager. I think Ranieri has a massive part in this Soule uprising, because I think if it wasn't for Ranieri in the last January session, Soule would have left. I think probably 80% of the credit of having this Soule is Claudio Ranieri. Because without Ranieri's faith, Soule would have never, I think, psychologically transformed. And I think with Gasperini, he's gonna officially take off in a sense that this season will be his season. It's all his. You know, we're ready. I'm ready to see him cook. I've got my popcorn in my hands. The stage is his. The show is his. Maybe I would dare to say maybe even more important than Dybala, you know, because if for the past seasons we've been too Dybala dependent, Soule can stop this addiction towards Dybala. Not in a negative way, not in a sense that he cancels Dybala away, Dybala doesn't start anymore. but allows the team to have more faith in themselves even without Dybala on the pitch. And that's something that when Dybala got injured and Soule started regularly under Ranieri at the end of the season, we started doing more. So I think he's got such an important job. He got interviewed today and he said a very interesting thing that I had said in the match reaction post Lands last weekend, 1 week ago, where he scored again. He scored in that game. And in the match reaction of that game, I said how I noticed that Soule played way more central, that he was playing less wide, and that he was being more of a pivot, more of a Dybala situation in the sense that playing more inside the pitch, help with the transition, help with setting up the play. And he's confirmed this today. He went live. Live, not that he has a Twitch account. He spoke in post-match interview, and he said how Gasperini asks him to play more central, and that he's liking it. He's feeling very good because he also, can be closer to the goal like this, and it can lead to him scoring more goals. I think Gasperini in Soule and Dybala, he sees Papu Gomez. He wants to transform Soule and Dybala in his system like Papu Gomez used to play. Now, Papu Gomez was a really good player, but Papu Gomez ran miles and miles and miles in every single game. So in order for Dybala to become not the new Papu Gomez, but to play like Papu Gomez played in Gasperini's system, he needs to be in optimal condition, which is why we haven't seen Dybala in any friendly game, because I think Gasperini is focused on an individual training routine with Dybala to get him as ready as possible. Get him as ready as possible for the season. Why did Roma not get Pogba? I think he would fit better at Roma than Monaco because his wages are too high, and it's Pogba is like the last player a manager like Gasperini would want, like the last player he would ask for. Do you have an email? Everything is in the description. Who are we signing in the left wing? I have no idea, mate, but we definitely need one. We should play 3-4-1-2 in front of Soule and Ferguson Dybala. Ferguson, even for the little time he played with today, was much better and had more impact than Dovbyk in 80 minutes. I agree. And he would have scored a goal if Pizzilli had passed it to him at the end. Two more things. Number one, El Ainaoui. What a player. Very early to build an overall conclusion around the player he is, but I'm liking him. He is the player that would fucking thrive with Gasperini. Like he's that Ederson player. Ederson. I tend to connect the players that we have to players that Gasperini previously had at Atalanta, and I connect El Ainaoui to Ederson. Today, he was everywhere. And I think the Kone-El Ainaoui duo is a perfect duo because one is more defensive, one is more offensive. One can focus on getting the balls back. I mean, both kind of do that dirty job of collecting balls back and tackling and, getting the balls back like a dustbin job. Both of them do that. But El Ainaoui is so good at switching the rhythm of the transition. He's so good at it. And I think really this binomial with Kone can work really, really well. Plus, chemistry is top between the two because they both speak the same language, which you'll probably go like, well, who cares? No, it's massively important for a player, especially for a player who's never played in Italy, who's coming from the French league, who's used to speaking French with his teammates, coming in and having somebody who speaks French in his same position, massively important. These are all details which we don't look at as football fans, but for football players themselves, they're so important. Also in a sense of, jumping from France to Italy. He has a French buddy who he shares the same position with and will play with. So you see, it's how chemistry in football gets thrived. It really is. I'm loving another duo that I'm loving is the Wesley Soule duo. There are a few duos that I'm loving in terms of chemistry. El Ainaoui Kone is one, and Wesley Soule is the other. I like duos that speak to each other, send signals to each other. And that, linking back to Dovbyk, that is why, for me, Dovbyk last season despite his scoring his goals, hasn't really linked up with, didn't really create a killer duo with anybody else, because Dovbyk doesn't speak. Dovbyk is the least emotional player on the pitch. He doesn't celebrate when he scores. He does a bit, but not much. He never starts a fight. He doesn't protest when he gets fouled. These are details which are important as football players. So, yeah, Elanawi Kone really well, and Wesley Soule together very well. Wesley, look, I said this after the Lens game. I thought he was going to be more technical. Again, I'm not building an overall judgment after 3 friendly games that he played. 2, 3. But up to now, he's really not that technical. He's a classic player that looks really good without the ball, moving and everything. But when he touches the ball, up to now, I get the feeling he's more of a Bruno Perez than what I thought he was going to be. I hope to be wrong, but that's my first technical impression on him. Yeah. The last thing is Hermoso. I think he started very badly today, and then he progressed well into the game, and he was actually very active in distributing balls and crossing the ball, like contributing to the attack, which from a centre-back is not usual. But if you've got a technical centre-back like Hermoso and a technical left full-back like Angelino, crosses can be exploited very well. It wasn't. In my opinion, it wasn't a coincidence that Hermoso was outside of the box or inside of the box playing with his feet, like very, very often today. Thoughts on Gilardi? I think Gilardi played well too. I like his confidence. I like Gilardi's confidence in decision making. Do you think we will be Lazio both times this season? Mate, we'll focus on the derby in a bit. But yeah, look, that's all I have to say, to be honest. I liked today, of course, after that Aston Villa disaster, everything was good today. We've got one more friendly game coming up in Italy against the Saudi team, the 16th of August. And then the 23rd of August, guys, the journey begins. Our Gasperinian journey to bring Roma back to perfection starts. Well, it has already started, but I mean, the games that count are going to start. And I can't wait. Buckle up, hit the like, subscribe, do all of that beauty if you missed me. I hope you did miss me. If you did miss me, send me a little thumbs up down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. We're 10 subscribers away from 16.5k. If we can hit it tonight, it would be great. And talk to you soon. Forza Roma. Simo out.